It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. It's another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of our live Saturday broadcast from InWheelTime.com. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Show this week. Inside our new car showroom, the Fiat 500X and the Jeep Gladiator. We'll give you an in-depth review of each. You'll also get this week's automotive news, Conrad's Car Clinic, This Week in Auto History, and later, NHRA Top Fuel driver Fast Jack Beckman on his win at the U.S. Nationals and his new car show. It's all just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for Saturday, September 12th, 2020. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars down there and King Conrad along right there. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us this morning. You know, it's an interesting thing that we've got going on here. A lot of changes with the show this week, and the fact that we've expanded it to another half an hour. And I've tried to do a bosun's job here and get everything all prepared. And clearly, I haven't done a very good job.
We didn't say a thing. I'm trying to figure out what does bosun have to do other than your passion for watching
Below Deck
Mediterranean.
I love Below Deck Mediterranean.
I'm not sure
what that is.
Yeah.
Well, it's a reality show, and it's kind of like the Kardashians on water. Not that I've watched the Kardashian show.
So these are boats that have a huge bow. No, bow's the front. What's the stern? A huge stern.
You know, I'm not sure that I've actually compared it to that, but I know that you just did, and I'm glad that you've noticed, because clearly. And I found out this week that the Kardashians have announced that they are not going to have a show any longer after next year.
So you do follow them?
No, just the news. Just the news. I don't follow them at all. But anyway, Below Deck Mediterranean, it's one of my little things that I watch occasionally, every Monday, 8 o'clock on Bravo.
Yes.
You know, I love starting off the show when it goes right off the track. Is Mike Satterfield
over the rails?
He's not?
He is, but he's not.
Okay. Well,
so we'll get him there in just a couple of seconds.
All right.
No,
well, we do have plenty of news that I didn't get in the first segment, so I thought that I would do a recall here because it's car-related as opposed to talking about Below Deck Mediterranean. Hyundai and Kia recalling more than 180,000 vehicles here in the U.S. because of problems with the anti-lock brake system. You have a Hyundai, don't you? My niece is visiting from Austin. And Susie Sweetland, thank you for coming in and joining us here today. We may bring her on so you can all see her a little bit later on. I'm just springing this on her right now. But anyway, so this recall with the problem with the anti-lock brake system may result in an electrical short and a thermal event.
A thermal event.
A vehicle fire. The recall vehicles are 180,000 Hyundai Tucson compact crossovers from 2019 to 2021 model years and about 9,400 Kia Stingers from the 2019 model year.
Did you ever drive a Stinger as a company car? Do you remember, or as a press fleet car?
I don't think I've had a Stinger.
Kind of a cool looking car. It's a step above the Optima. You know, it's kind of more of their performance sedan. Not a bad looking car. I'm surprised at 8,400. I thought they'd sold a whole lot more than that.
Well, there's another thing that I wanted to bring up, and I was trying to find a place to put it. So we're going to put it in this segment of the show. Do you know what short selling is? Are you into stocks at all? I'm not a big stock guy. I've got a guy that handles investments, but I don't know really that much about it. But
I've heard the phrase, I don't do it.
short selling allows investors to profit from stocks or other securities when they go down in value. In order to do a short sale, an investor has to borrow the stock or security through their brokerage company from someone who owns it. The investor then sells the stock, retaining the cash proceeds. The short seller hopes that the price will fall over time, providing an opportunity to buy back the stock at a lower price than the original sale price.
And he keeps the difference.
Any money left over after buying back the stock is profit to the short seller. So it's interesting. You have to know this.
You can make money on the stock market going up or make money on the stock market going down.
And that the downside would be the short seller. Well, this is a story that came out yesterday, and I found it on Automotive News, and it's really a combination of Reuters, Bloomberg, and Auto News. They're all involved in this report, but this is going to be a movie. You ready? Nikola Corporation, the startup EV maker that this week announced a multi-billion-dollar joint venture with General Motors, said yesterday it could take legal action against short seller Hindenburg Research, which accused the company of being a fraud in a scathing report on Thursday. The company also said it intended to bring the actions of the activist short seller together with evidence and documentation to the attention of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. This is one of these documentary things that you get all involved in and you go, wow, this is like undercover stuff, you know, black market stuff. Shh, don't tell anybody. Nikola said it retained corporate litigator Kirkland & Ellis, a national law firm that also represents General Motors. In fact, Kirkland & Ellis represented GM in its recent racketeering lawsuit against Fiat Chrysler automobiles that was later dismissed by a U.S. district judge in Detroit. Yesterday, this is a quote, yesterday an activist short seller whose motivation is to manipulate the market and profit from a manufactured decline in our stock price published a so-called report replete with misleading information and salacious accusations directed at our founder and executive chairman, Nikola, said in a statement. To be clear, this was not a research report and it is not accurate. This was a hit job for short sale profit driven by greed.
Driven by greed? Capitalists driven by greed?
No.
That's the way the system works.
So, Nikola shares fell 11% on Thursday after Hindenburg Research published its report. The shares fell another 16.6%, down to $31.37 in afternoon trading yesterday.
So who was short selling them?
Hindenburg founder Nathan Anderson said in a statement on Friday that his firm would welcome a lawsuit by Nikola.
As they drive the price down and pull the money out.
Quote, the company answered none of the 53 questions we raised in our report after promising a full rebuttal, he said. We are pleased that Nikola is engaging with the SEC, and we are not surprised that Trevor Milton, Nikola's founder and executive chairman, is not commenting further on advice of counsel.
Yeah, means be quiet because you're getting sued. Anything you say will be used against you in a court of law.
Milton said in a tweet Friday he wouldn't make any further comments on the advice of counsel other than to say that Nikola approached the SEC, not the other way around. He earlier said he would provide a detailed report to address the allegations. Hindenburg's report, by a firm that owns a short position in the company's stock and may stand to gain from a decline in the share price, alleges the maker of electric and hydrogen fuel cell heavy-duty vehicles made non-working products appear as fully functional. The report also alleges that Nikola staged misleading videos and told dozens of lies about its capabilities and partnerships or products, among other issues. Nikola has been vetted by some of the world's most credible companies and investors, the truck maker said in a Thursday statement to Bloomberg News. They said, we are on a path to success and will not waver based on a report, blah, blah, blah. It is an ugly, ugly thing that is going on because all of this electric stuff that's going on in the world today, everybody and his mother is going electric or trying to get a piece of it as well. Build electric. And it is just an incredible fight all the way to the checkered flag.
Oh, yeah. With all the different manufacturers of electric vehicles,
Because
all the different partnerships of major corporations.
I've got a story that I'll share with you later about these companies that are trying to get like 100,000 vehicle buys, for instance, like Amazon,
U.S. Post Office.
all of those. They're all vying for that. Imagine. You could build a company just making 100,000 vehicles.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Tesla did. Elon did.
Well, he made 1,000 vehicles anyway.
Yeah. Well, they've made over 100,000 Teslas now.
In how many years?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
Well, at any rate, I just found the story fascinating, and we're going to hear more about it, I know. It is going to be...
And GM is right in the middle of the morass.
Of course they are.
We got Mike.
I know that, and we're going to get to him in just a moment. Did you want to
join in on that?
Jeff,
I see you're still trying to make
Jeff,
music here.
Let's have a show over here, Jeff.
Well, Don's still working on the music for the break.
No, I'm ready. And we are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk to Mike Satterfield with Groesbeck Grand Prix, which is an event that happened last weekend, find out how all that went with all the weather and stuff. So stay with us.
As America gets back on the road, a lot of things have changed, but not the need for drivers to be safe. With that in mind, it's time to review our safe driving checklist. First, you're in your car.
Check.
You're sober.
Check.
You're wearing your seatbelt.
Check.
Your phone is put away.
Check.
Great. Make sure you follow the speed limit. And remember, law enforcement is enforcing traffic safety laws in our community to save lives. Paid for by NHTSA.
Advance Auto Parts and CarQuest present the inaugural Texas Truck Challenge with $10,000 to the winner this Saturday night at Houston Motorsports Park. Gates open at 5 and the first 300 fans get a free souvenir cap. The commemorative Air Force flyover and racing go at 6. Wear your mask. We've got social distancing and sanitizer. Enjoy $1 hot dogs and $1 beer. Advance tickets online at NASCARHouston.com. This Saturday night, gates at 5, racing at 6, Houston Motorsports Park for the inaugural $10,000 Texas Truck Challenge.
You know, it's an interesting thing for this car show because as hard as we try all week long to iron out all the kinks, we can't iron them all out.
No, we can, but it's during the show.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Mars with the video, you with the audio, me with
and Jeff
shiny things,
and Jeff over there is switching video, and thank God he is.
And cousin Susie over here.
And yes, and that's my niece.
Niece.
Yes.
Niece, cousin.
So last week was an event called the Groesbeck Grand Prix.
The inaugural Groesbeck Grand Prix.
In Groesbeck, Texas. I didn't know where that was. Somewhere between Waco and Dallas, north
and
of
Buffalo.
here. Yeah, up there. And I know that the weather was a little iffy at times. And I know that we also tried to have a little Zoom session with Michael. And that didn't actually turn out too well.
But the cell tower only accepts 3 cell phones at a time, and there was a big crowd of people up there. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
Well, we're doing fine. So, first of all, did the weather affect any of the event up there? Let's get right to the point here.
Well, yeah, Saturday, obviously it broke up some of our practice sessions and things like that, and it also kind of made our parking situation in the big grass field a little iffy on Sunday when the big day happened. So,
but the record business was big, I'll bet.
Well, thankfully we had a lot of people with big trucks because it is Texas. So people who got stuck just found somebody with a truck to tow them out. But
so let's give
other
everybody.
than that, it was great. Sunday was beautiful.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Let's give everybody a little bit of background and tell everybody what the Groesbeck Grand Prix was last weekend.
So it was a concept I had to create, like a motorsports festival here in Texas that has a 1.3 mile time trial. We had to shorten it up a little bit. for some of the safety issues we were working on after we were doing some testing out there. We have time trial. We've got vendors. We have a car show, a concours. It happens inside this old fort, which is called Old Fort Parker, which is a really neat property there in Groesbeck. It's a recreation that was built during the Works Progress Administration. So it's a replica of the original Parker Fort that was out in the area. So it creates this really unique backdrop for all these classic cars and racing, and it's just a really fun environment. And we had a great turnout, and everyone had a really good time.
Did I hear correctly that it was a sellout?
Yes, we actually sold out 3 days before the event. We had limited our ticket sales due to obviously COVID. We had some restrictions on how many people we could have there, but we actually sold out days before the event, so it was pretty good.
How many people did you have there? How many entries and how many spectators and that sort of thing?
So we had a total of about 400 people show up to the event, which was great. I mean, considering the town has about 4,000 people, so it was a good turnout for the event for the first year with everything going on. Participant-wise, we had about 27 vehicles show up to actually do the time trial. We had a couple that had some incidents, obviously with racing. Either one got rear-ended on the way down, so he couldn't make it. His car got actually hit on a trailer on his way down. Yeah. And another guy, obviously mechanical issues. Racers are always scrambling at the last minute, get cars put back together and get out to the track again. So we had one that couldn't get there, mechanical, but we had 27 cars show up from all over Texas and as far away as North Carolina. It was a great event. We had some great times, and the inside the fort, we had about roughly 25 cars on display. I think the rain scared off some of our car show people the day before, but we have big hopes for next year to have a much larger event. We've had really good feedback from everybody, and it's going to be really good going forward.
Well, I think that the interesting thing is that it's called the Grand Prix, and it should be, I guess, called the Grand Duca, because not only do you have the actual time trial races on a road course out there, but you do have the car show aspect of it, too. So it's kind of like the best of all car worlds in my mind.
Yeah, it was great. We had so many car clubs come out that were able to, also park in the parking area. So you had an impromptu car show out there with Ferraris and Alfa Romeos and classic MGs.
There you go, bragging again.
From the spectators. So there was a lot of great cars out there from all over Texas. In our post-event survey, we had people from 89 different zip codes come to Groesbeck, Texas. So it was pretty cool to get that many people out to our community and really enjoying it. And again, really good feedback from both spectators and the drivers.
How cool is that? Friend of the show, Richard Tomlin, and he's also the head of the area SCCA. I know they brought a lot of support up there to help you as well. They did the corner working for you, didn't they?
Yeah, Richard is actually our race director. He handled all that stuff. My side of it was the kind of the hospitality and car show side, making sure the toilets worked and things like that. I made sure the event went really well that way. Richard handled everything on track, and his team was super professional. We had only one slight off-track incident. Driver got out, walked away, was okay. There was no major incidents. So Richard and his team did a great job. And then our volunteer fire department and our local ambulance services and all that were on site, and they did an awesome job making sure it was a safe event. We even had a local sheriff running as our safety car, and he was doing some hot laps with the Charger patrol car. So cool.
Now, Michael, when you say the track, you reference the track, that's really the streets of Groesbeck,
yes,
right?
It's a closed park road. It's Park Road 35.
Park roads,
so we actually got permission to shut that road down and run the time trial on that. So it was a public road that we obviously went in. We put water barriers in, and we put hay bales and other things like that for safety, and then shut that road down. And feedback from the drivers, they all loved it. Pretty much all of them are coming back. Some are building and tweaking their cars specifically for this event next year. So we expect to have a much broader, more interesting field next year and a lot more interest in it.
And when we had you on the show before, my analogy was Groesbeck is Texas's Goodwood event, because at Goodwood,
a lot of people have made that, that analogy. Yeah,
because they do a show, they do a closed course time trials as well. So we hope to see it grow for you as well. Have you already selected a date for next year?
Our goal is to have it again on Labor Day weekend again next year. We're already working with the local community out there to add some other events surrounding it, because our event ends around 3:00, and the plan this year was to have either automotive art shows or other automotive car shows and things happening around the local communities. But with everything happening, we were just happy to get the event done this year. So next year, we're planning on adding a couple other cocktail party events afterwards, and other car shows and art things happening around the community. We had a couple of great artists actually come out and do some live demonstrations at the event this year, which was really cool. Sean Starr from Star Studios does all the traditional hot rod lettering and hand painting, and has done cars for Pebble Beach and lots of really high-end Ferraris and things like that, like La Carrera Panamericana cars. He happens to live just down the road from us in Calvert, so he came up and did some stuff.
Is there a swap meet in the plans?
No swap meet. It's we're gonna have vendors there, but it won't be like a swap meet. It'll just be automotive lifestyle stuff, and food vendors and things like that. More of a festival atmosphere.
Well, I'm hoping maybe Saturday night you can get one of your other neighbors, Ted Nugent, to have a concert there to go along with it.
That would be pretty fun. I think he would like the fort.
I think Nuge lives somewhere in that area.
Well, he's about probably 40, 50 miles away, but yeah, he's pretty close.
So, Mike, do you have a Facebook page that we could that we could get all of your updates and things as we head up to next year?
Yeah, everything is on Groesbeck Grand Prix. It's all one word on Facebook. Same on Instagram as Groesbeck Grand Prix. And then our website is groesbeckgrandprix.com, which will be updating with next year's information and dates as we get everything verified and our dates locked in for with the venue and everything.
Well, Michael, congratulations on apparently a great event up there, and I know that next year is going to be twice as much fun, and we hope to be a part of it with you.
Yeah, we hope to have you guys out there.
All right, man. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Coming up, Mr. Mars has got a Fiat 500X, and he's going to tell you about it and his experience with it after a quick stop here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. We hope that you're going to stay with us as soon as I can hit the right
There's
marks.
no greater pain a parent can suffer than losing a child. And yet, heat stroke deaths in hot cars are on the rise. The temperature inside a vehicle can reach deadly levels in just a few minutes. Leaving windows cracked does not help. These preventable deaths can occur even when the outside temperature is as low as 57 degrees. Never leave your baby or child in a vehicle, even for a short period, and always check the back seat before you get out of the car. Where's baby? Look before you lock. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
As America gets back on the road, a lot of things have changed, but not the need for drivers to be safe. With that in mind, it's time to review our safe driving checklist. First, you're in your car. Check. You're sober. Check. You're wearing your seatbelt. Check. Your phone is put away. Check. Great. Make sure you follow the speed limit. And remember, law enforcement is enforcing traffic safety laws in our community to save lives. Paid for by NHTSA.
I'd like to say howdy to Frank Gilchrist, who's tuned in this morning. We appreciate you, Frank, always. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you for joining the In Wheel Time Car Show. And it's time now for our car review for this particular segment. Mr. Mars has the Fiat 500X.
The Fiat 500X Sport all-wheel drive model. Now, this is the small CUV. It is actually the larger of the Fiat 500 series, and because it's the X, it's not the largest. There's one a little bit bigger, but this is basically what Fiat calls their small CUV. We would call it a compact. And a couple of things they've done, it does come in 4 trim levels, a Pop, a Trekking, a Sport, and then a Trekking Plus. We had the Sport model, and we have the all-wheel drive. It is the first Fiat that you can get the all-wheel drive in. A couple of things you're going to see on the exterior that are new for 2020. It's got a new front and rear fascia on it. It's also got 8 inches of ground clearance. Again, it's all-wheel drive. It's not an off-road type all-wheel drive. This is for your snow, your maybe some sand, maybe some light mud or something like that. But it'll give you a little bit of extra ground clearance to clear through those kind of areas. You're going to find LED headlights up front. You're going to find the LED fog lights, daytime running lights, and the tail lights. And the new thing it's got going for you again this year is it's got body color side moldings on the Sport model. So it really kind of makes it look a little different with all the red that we had on the vehicle that we were driving. Now, it has the dual pane power sunroof on it, which it basically takes out the whole roof and makes it a big sunroof. And we happen to be rolling on the optional 19-inch aluminum wheels, which I really like the way those looked. The thing I like of driving this vehicle, I like the way when you sit in it, It's got a lot of glass. You set upright in it, or I feel like I'm setting upright more like in a truck. And I've got a great expanse view here. My viewscape, I love the way it drives and it looks. So from the interior, we had the black cloth and vinyl seat because we did have the sport model. And the front seats are heated. We had a 7-inch display that sets up on the dash, kind of on top of it. It's not really built down into it. And that's where we're going to find our Uconnect 4. That's Apple, your Android connection, your convenience controls are all found right there, and they're pretty easy to get to. And there's really no sun glare. Sometimes there's a little sun glare on some of them, but the way this one's angled, I really like the way I could access it and get to it. We had the optional Beats audio system with 8 speakers, and in this compact vehicle, it really filled it up nicely. Now, to make it go, it's got a new 1.3-liter inline-4 turbo underneath the hood, 177 horsepower, 210 pound-feet of torque, and it's backed by a 9-speed automatic. Now, sometimes we run into it where those 8, 9, and 10-speed automatics with the smaller motors kind of search for the gears. They really don't know where they're going. I didn't experience that with this vehicle. It had enough juice. It got to where it wanted to go, and it stuck there for me. Had some paddle shifters for it because it's the sport model. I didn't really find much use for them, but
I was just going to say
they were there.
Paddle shifters, really?
In an all-wheel drive CUV.
They were there, but again, I guess if you were really trying to drive it,
run those paddle shifters.
It was, but I did like driving it because it did have a zippy feel around town, and out on the freeway, it wasn't too bad either. Now, the EPA says you should be looking for about 24 miles to the gallon in the city, Highway 30, combined about 26. I got an easy 25 out of it for the week that I had it because we didn't put it out on the highway much. We didn't play with the paddle shifters at all, hardly. It just didn't seem appropriate. But anyway, there was 3 different drive modes that you can have in it. One of them's the automatic, and then you can have a sport and a traction plus. Now, the automatic, really what it does, it kind of finds a medium ground between the sport and the traction plus whenever it does all the steering. Sweet spot. Yeah, it finds a sweet spot for all the good stuff, and that's really where I left it. I didn't find much.
You have to say it, like, sweet spot.
Sweet spot.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'll have to practice. I'm not really. I'll
show
where you are there. Please don't. And so I did find, again, around town, a zippy feel to it. It's a nice, comfortable ride. The steering was pretty responsive. It wasn't go-kart like, but, it was a nice driving vehicle. Now, if you're looking for something to compare it to, you're probably going to look at maybe a Mazda CX-30, maybe a Mini Cooper, or even a Honda HR-V. And again, the base Fiat 500X is going to start at $24,590. Now, a sport base 500X that we were driving starts at $26,895.
Still under 30 grand.
Was under 30 grand, but we had some options, and a lot of the options do come in groups. You get a premium group, you get a advanced driver assistance group. So basically, the MSRP of the vehicle that we were driving, as tested, we loaded up, is $35,895.
$10,000 worth of extras.
Yeah, there's a bunch there. Most of it is tied up in the technology. So again, now this is a small vehicle, nice driving small vehicle, and
definitely a compact SUV, CUV. Yeah.
Yep. And the hatchback, I love that. So if you're looking for that CUV, this is one of them you ought to look at.
Thank you, Mr. Mars. National events calendar. Lots of stuff going on around the U.S.
Well, this weekend is the 35th annual Huntington Beach Concours d'Elegance. Also, this weekend is the Good Guys Colorado Nationals in Loveland, Colorado. Next weekend in Fredericksburg, Texas, is the Fredericksburg Classic Car Show. If people are looking to take a nice ride about 4 hours out to Fredericksburg, it's always a fun place to go.
All weekend?
Yeah. Well, on the 19th on Saturday, so drive in Friday, spend the night, and drive home Sunday.
Yeah.
That's right. Then watch our show on your phone.
Right. And then in Corpus Christi on October 2nd is the Mustang Fest. And that's going to be the 2nd through the 4th. So that's Friday through Sunday, and that's going to be the National Mustang Show. The Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals is November 21st through the 22nd in Rosemont, Illinois. Just what you want to do is drive your Corvette or muscle car Thanksgiving weekend or the weekend before Thanksgiving into Chicago. So let's drive our real expensive cars into snowy Chicago late in November.
Yeah, and I'll break out my bulletproof vest. Thank you.
And then Saturday, the 24th of October, is the Japanese Classic Car Show in Long Beach, California. I know you're a fan of the show JDM, which is Japanese domestic market.
And when I watch it, I always wear high karate.
Oh, gosh, please. In your kimono. But, I'm sure that's going to be really going to have a lot of those JDM vehicles are going to be there to show up. And then, November 8th in Houston is the Houston Exotic Auto Festival. Exotic, not erotic, Don. Auto Festival. And that's kind of where Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all that high-dollar stuff is going to show up here in Houston. I'm going to wait for the erotic
festival. All right. Well, hey, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict, among others. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues after this. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Don Armstrong saying be sure and join us live every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time on YouTube, Facebook, and InWheelTime.com. Our podcasts are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. We'll see you next time.